Yes, hello. This is one more Pursuing God's Heart and 2 Corinthians chapter 5. I feel like these chapters are so rich I could kind of do highlights about every verse practically. But at the start of chapter 5, Paul's talking about the contrast between what is seen, what we're experiencing, and what is unseen. So the temporary and the eternal. It's a really powerful thing to be reminding ourselves of, that actually, as much as we want to be sensible and controlled and careful with what's going on down here, actually the reason we're trying to be careful is not for our own sake, but for the sake of others. We don't want to spread a virus that's going to lead to the death of others. And so that's the motivation. But for us, we're not living in fear as if this is all we've got to cling on to. In fact, this is seen, but we are fixing our eyes on what is unseen. That's the end of chapter 4. And then start of chapter 5, he starts talking about our body. He says, if the earthly tent we live in is destroyed, we have a building from God, an eternal house in heaven, not built by human hands. Meanwhile, while we're still here, we groan, longing to be clothed with our heavenly dwelling. Down in verse 4, while we are in this tent, we groan and are burdened because we do not wish to be unclothed. We're not, desperate to die, but we do want to be clothed with our heavenly dwellings so that what is mortal may be swallowed up by life. That's actually an incredibly positive hope for us, that this mortal and failing physical tent that we're in is going to be swallowed up, not by death, but by life. It's God who has made us for this very purpose. And as a guarantee, I love this in verse 5, as a guarantee, he's given us the Spirit as a deposit, guaranteeing what is to come. And so we've got a few thoughts there just swirling together that are worth thinking about. We're not trying to guard our bodies as if this life is all we have. No, in fact, this life is a life of groaning, a life of discomfort and pain and ultimately death. And it's not that we're wanting death, it's that we know what comes beyond that this mortal is going to be swallowed up by life. Isn't that an amazing thought? And what is temporary, what is seen, but what is passing away is going to pass away ultimately for all of us. And those of us who've trusted Christ, we are going on to something that is eternal, not human made, not human built, but built by God. And so because God is the one who has created the eternal future destiny for us, even our future bodies that won't have pain and death and sickness and so on, because God is the one who has done all that is to come in the future, we can also look to what he's given us now as a guarantee of that. What has he given us now? He's given us the Spirit, guaranteeing to our hearts, whispering into our hearts that he loves us and that he's got us, that he's going to carry us, he's going to take us through whatever we may face. And so whether we die in the next 2 weeks or live for the next 20 years, this isn't really life. This is just for now, but even greater life is still to come. But this is life in the sense that the Spirit of God is in us now if we belong to Christ. And actually that is the guarantee. That is the thing that gives us hope to press on in all that we are going through now and heading towards for the future. So 2 Corinthians 5, something to think about, something hopefully to be encouraged by. What is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. And this mortal will be swallowed up by life.